everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about Boom. I love Boom. You know I love Boom. Bloom. Boom. We are going to do a quick Q&A, and then we are going to talk about the newest feature that some of you will love, some of you will not love. And then we're going to do some things regarding a mini tutorial on Flow Magic. Stay tuned. Hi, my name is Lorianne, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. Here at It's All Primary, we talk about teacher side hustles, and it's almost over this month. Actually, it's been a really good month. I don't know about how you feel about July, but it's been, first of all, it's been hot. We have not had rain in almost 6 weeks. I'm praying for rain. Vancouver is known for its rain. We are not getting it. Our forest fires are horrible. All the firefighters that are out there trying to get them controlled. Just praying for rain, praying for cooler weather, no winds, all that sort of stuff. But before we talk about Boom, let me just share, I was completely wrong. You know, I'm willing to fess up when I am not correct on things, and there will always be something I'm not right on. I figured just admit it, right? So the TPT sale is going to be next week, August 3rd and 4th, Tuesday, Wednesday. If I had looked at the history of that sale, I would have figured that out. But no, I did not figure. Actually, I honestly thought it was the second week of August last year. It was the first. And something I noticed was that they did 2 extra sales. So they did the Tuesday, Wednesday last year, and then they did another sale on August the 18th, which I think was a Tuesday last year. So it'd be the 17th this year. And then they did another one in September, which wasn't normal either. So we'll see if they follow suit. Some of you have been asking about why your sales, both in Boom and in TPT, have been so low this year. A lot of teacher sellers have had significantly low sales this year. 2 reasons. 1, they're tired. I mean, when I finished school, I think it was 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't even want to. I don't want to. And I think many felt the same way. I feel that they just shut it off and had the holiday, which they earned. Teachers earned their holidays. They always earn their holidays, but they definitely earned them this year. The second reason, there are many school districts that don't even know whether they're going back to school or not right now. There was one teacher on Instagram, she wrote that they're going in, but they are like on call to possibly go online again. So teachers aren't buying because they don't know whether they need face-to-face stuff or whether they need online digital products, which tells you make them both. Don't stop digital. My school district right now is going back face-to-face. And so in my mind, I've been making a lot of PDF type products, but not everywhere. So keep making some digital products. If you were trying to decide whether to stop making them, don't stop making them. Keep making them. This Delta variant has been crazy, and so even though we have a very high percentage of adults that have been vaccinated where I live, fall is coming. So if your sales are low, don't worry about it. Second thing about the sale, if you are a fairly new seller, please keep your expectations low for sales. One of the things that I heard last year from a TPT seller, they said that many teachers, at least she knew, make their wish list for this coming sale in June. They do it in June. So they might do some browsing, but most of them are going to be either back to school or about to be back to school. They don't have time. So they made their wish lists and then didn't look again, and that's what they're buying. So I was told last year when I had 10 products and I had just started like June, end of May, June, don't set high expectations for sales. And I had 3 sales. I was like, oh, I had 3 sales. And I'll be honest, I still have low expectation for this year. I don't think sales for even TPT are going to be significantly up this year because, again, there is this uncertainty that people don't know what they're going to do. So I think they're not going to spend as much. Maybe. I've been wrong before. You know that. I've been wrong a lot. Theories. But like I said, fairly new store, and you've been hammering it this summer. Congratulations. There's another sale coming, so don't worry. Okay? If you only get 1 sale, be thankful for this. We call those the small wins. It's a big win, but it's also a small win. It's a small win. So be thankful for it and go on to the next sale. And don't worry about it. This whole year, my best sale was the September one, and mainly because I sold bundle with all these other $1 products. I don't recommend doing $1 products if that product is much more in value. I completely underpriced it. People took advantage of it. That was fine. That was a lesson I learned. We'll talk about that maybe in another video if you want to hear about it. But I do better. I had 3 sales during the back to school sale, and then I had more sales during the rest of the month. So the sale in some ways might get people's eyes on your product if they're browsing. And then they might just wish list it and look later when they've got time. So don't worry about it. If that product you've made is of value, people will be back if they see it. It's about getting SEO optimization on all your stuff. Make sure it's there so that people will see it. I wish list a lot of stuff, and then during the sale, that's all I look at. I go back and say, do I need this now? Can it wait? Or do I not need it? I try not to do impulse buying, though I did an impulse buy yesterday. I got a steal yesterday. Anyways, that's a whole other story. Okay, if you want to know about it, just put a question down below and I'll answer. I'll tell you what I bought, because I don't think it's that price now. I think it was a 1-day thing. Also, the poll in our community. Thank you. I thank you very much for voting. And we have like a 2-way tie. Well, it's one slightly edging the other. Product creation is, last I looked, was 50%, something like that. And TPT store audits was 47, something like that. I will do them both. I will post, this gets uploaded for the weekend. I will make a new poll on Saturday about the product creation. And so I will break that down, going, what would you like for your product creation video? And also, I will do another, then I'll do one, I'm trying to figure out how to do the store audit. I would actually like to audit 3 stores. I'd like to audit somebody's store who's only been around on TPT for like less than 6 months. Someone who's been on TPT, 1 to 2 years, and then someone who's got a store longer. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I think most people that watch are fairly new sellers. I don't know. You can let me know down below. Okay. So those were the things I wanted to kind of get out of the way before we talk boom. Okay, over the last couple weeks I've been getting questions mainly in the Facebook group. And again, if you're interested in being part of the Side Hustle Help for TPT and Boom, we have a Facebook group. The link is down below. Please make sure to answer the questions. And the biggest one is your store name, or if you are thinking of starting a store. Because the whole point of this Facebook group is for TPT and Boom help. And if you don't have a store, you don't need to be there. I don't want people just accumulating Facebook groups. I saw somebody who's had like 200 or 300 Facebook groups. I'm like, why? Anyways, that's just me. If you're interested, again, write down either you have a store or what the name of your store is. I go look because I'm interested and I want to see what you're at and maybe possible needs that you will have. What this question was asked over there, what are the different things that you can do with Boom? And there are a few things out there. For example, the biggest one is glorified worksheets, where they just ask questions, the kids fill in the answers, boom, right? Boom. Boom Learning has different types of answers. They have the fill in the blank. They have a multiple choice with words or numbers. They have multiple choice with pictures. They have buttons, right? They have drag and drops. They have hidden pictures, which, by the way, I found out just this week, hidden pictures is trademarked. So uncover the picture or something. I don't know what you want to call it. I didn't know hidden pictures is trademarked by Highlights for Kids. Remember those Highlights for Kids magazines? Yeah, they've trademarked that. Hidden pictures. Turkeys. If you, depending on what you are doing on Boom, there's a way of doing it. This is one of the biggest things I've saw this summer on Instagram, is where the Boom card, because Boom cards in essence are digital task cards. So you can have the student do something. They don't necessarily have to do it on the task card. They can do it, sitting at a table or wherever. For example, I saw one where the task card said, it asked them to create something using blocks or Lego or something like that. And the student or the child was sitting at a table doing it. They weren't actually filling in anything on the Boom card. And I thought, oh, you can do that. So if you were a music teacher, you could actually get them, say, play the scale, and they would need to play the scale. They don't have to necessarily fill in something on Boom, which I find is interesting. So there are ways of using them that, I honestly have not done that, but I'm interested in how I can make that work. I saw a Boom set of cards where they just said, say this sound 5 times. And I'm like, oh, okay. Right? There are different things that you can do that way. There are these flashlight ones I've seen the last 6-7 months, I think, where the picture is so somewhat dark and the student drags this magnifying glass. Seek and find, I Spy type. Again, I Spy is trademarked. Oh my goodness. You might have to end up no, never mind. So there are different things that you can do, but you don't necessarily have to make the student answer, other than it's whatever their task is completed. So if I said on a task card, do 10 jumping jacks, clicked next when you're done, I could do that. I haven't done that, but yeah. Like I said, I've got a list of Boom cards I'm working on right now. When I get those done, maybe I'll start looking at different directions on how to use it, and then maybe I'll actually create a full-on video of different things that you can use. So that question is sort of partially answered. Okay. Question number 2. Someone asked, how do you know what people want? How do you know what people want? Like if you get told, make what people want, which I say, how do you know what they want? Especially on Boom, because Boom has a different algorithm than TPT. But if you are not following Boom Learning on Facebook, you need to. They have at least 2 Facebook groups. They might even have 3. They have Creating Boom cards, which is strictly about creating. They're always like, just keep it about that. And then they have Boom Sellers. Get into those 2 groups, because there are people from Boom that are regularly in there. So you can ask your questions, you will get responses. Sometimes it gets a little negative in there. You got to be careful. There was a long negative post yesterday, maybe yesterday. And I read it because I wanted to hear perspectives, but it can get negative. They're in there. Boom Learning is interested in what creators are interested in. Now, so do that. Make sure you do that after you watch this video. But to find out what people want, sometimes you have to go elsewhere. So for example, I would go to TPT. And I would go in the search bar and write phonics and see what word comes up next. Phonics games or phonics whatever. And then I would make something like that. And I'd also look at the search results in TPT. Boom will be less most of the time. But you can look at TPT, see what they say, look at the search results, and if the search results are fairly low, this is the goal. You want to find gaps. And there's products I make that are not gapped, and if you want to make a product, make the product. But I look and see what the number is, and my goal is to always make something definitely under 10,000. My goal is to get things under 5,000, under 3,500, right? The lower, the better. Because if it's showing up in the search, but the results are low, that's telling you that people are looking for it, but they're not, but there's not a lot to choose from. It'll work similar to Boom. That would be one place I'd go. The second place I'd go is Google Search. And you can get a Chrome extension called Uber Suggest, and you can get 3 searches for free a day on Uber Suggest if you make it a little account. And then I would every day for at least for a week or so put in different things, and they'll give you a suggested list, and they'll show you the volumes, and then they'll give you a color code. If you want a video on that on Uber Suggest, let me know, because I use that more for blogging, but you can get good search results there as well. Google, Uber Suggest, TPT would be the places that I would go to find what people want. There are other ones too. Answer the Public, but Google Search itself, if you go down to the bottom, there'll be questions. How do you do this? How do you do that, right? Again, sometimes they're more blog related, but they still work. You can pull things out of that. Okay, those were sort of answered. I want to get on to this one. This is really important. Boom's newest feature. I'm just going to stop the camera for half a sec because I need to get a drink. Boom's newest feature has been getting some really interesting responses from Boom sellers, especially in the Facebook group. I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about this. Initially when I saw it, I was like, this is not good. It might be fine, but let me tell you what it is. They have created a little default filter in Boom, whereas when you go in and you search in the store for something, it defaults to only those you follow. And I mentioned this in another video. I can't remember what I was even looking for. I was looking for something, and I kept thinking, why are these same people popping up in my search? The same people. I follow 6 people. Okay? And I'm like, that's all I'm seeing. And then I saw it right up near the filters. It says only authors or something like that. I'll put an image in here somewhere. You can turn that off, but it defaults to on. And I went, oh boy. For someone like me, I have less than 100 followers. I think I even have less than 50. Yeah, I might have less than 50. That's a problem. Because right now, 50 people are only going to see my items. And if you are starting Boom with no followers, buyers can turn that off. And it's very prominent in red that you can flick that off. But I don't know how many people will do that initially. I don't know. Now, there are 2 ways to get followers on Boom. Boom says, and this was in the Facebook group yesterday or today, if someone buys a product from you, you're automatically in their followers, which I find hard to believe, because unless people turned it off, right? People can turn off and on, right? We can do that on any of the platforms. We can turn followers on, turn followers off. Subscribe, unsubscribe. Please don't unsubscribe. Anyways, so the moment they buy something from you, it's an automatic follow. And then they can just manually do it themselves. They can follow you. Those are the 2 ways. What this means then is you're going to have to be diligent to ask for people to follow you. You're going to have to do that and put it everywhere. And it sounds salesy, but you're going to have to do that because there are sellers on Boom with 50,000, 100,000 followers. I can't compete with that. You probably won't be able to compete with that either. There are people that are happy about this. There are people that are not happy about this. It really looks like it's favoring the older seller, but please do not give up. Don't. If you are thinking of starting a Boom store and you just saw this and went, don't do that, because there's ways of getting around that. You know, this only goes to those people that go onto Boom and search, right? This happens. Pins are going to be very important. Idea pins. You want to put links to your store. Now, you can't put direct links in an idea pin, but you can still write it in the description on the site under notes or something like that. You can still put things in there to get people to go to your store and to get to your products. But like I said, you're just gonna, we gotta figure this out. We're gonna figure this out this year, okay? Anytime I find a shortcut to this, I will tell you. But this is really important. So for some people, their sales could significantly drop, and others it might not. I don't know. I had 3 sales on Boom last year at this time. I've got 1. But again, I'm not taking this summer in too seriously because of COVID. I really am not, because I think it's just not a normal year. And I think you have to be careful with putting too high of an expectation in this when we're having this kind of year, okay? Again, if you have any comments about any of this that I'm saying, pop them down below. I'm just sharing what I know. It's still fairly new, this feature. It's not going away. People are complaining, but right now it's not going away. But monitor your sales, particularly if you've been on Boom for at least a year, month to month, but year to year. Don't compare July to August. Compare July 2020 to July 21, right? August 2020, August 21. Don't compare month to month, because things happen in seasons, waves, ebbs and flows, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now we finally get to Flow Magic. Flow Magic. What is Flow Magic? Flow Magic is a conditional logic, I want to say platform. I guess it's a platform of some sort, program. Normally when a student is answering questions in Flow Magic, they'll get, they can actually skip, right? If the question looks too tough, or they're just like, I don't want to do it, they can hit skip and they can go on. Flow Magic doesn't let them do that. There is what's called a conditional linking. They have to get this right to move on to the next thing. Now, you control where students move, but you have to give them options. Where you want to be using Flow Magic is when you have something like an interactive table of contents. When you're giving students a choice to either go that way or go that way or go that way. You need to give students choice on whether they want to go back and maybe listen to the instructions. Maybe they're done for today and they can click out, right? You've got to give them options. So you're creating little buttons. Home, back, next, right? But that next is usually going to have a conditional link to it. So they can't click forward until they've done what that current card has on it. And initially, I don't know why I had trouble with this. Now that I've been doing some, it's not so bad, but it's tedious work, because you've got to make sure that everything is going the right way. Right? So you've got to have that home, and which slide is going to be home, which slide is going to be the previous, because you can actually link to the next slide, or you can just look at the slide which one you want and then put it linked to there. So you can actually choose the slide or card, or you can just click next or previous or first card or something like that, right? So I'm going to show you a couple that I have, and I think they're pretty much the same. I'm just trying to think this. I gotta actually look at them before I show you this. But the biggest thing that I found with using Flow Magic and just the regular deck is having a navigation page. That's just how I'm looking at Flow Magic. You may look at it completely different. That's fine. Make comments down below on how you use Flow Magic. I'd love to hear about it. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll show you a couple things. Here is a deck that I'm working on. And as you can see, this is my navigation page, which I will eventually hide. And on this page, I have my home, next, and back. And so when I'm linking things, so this one, I'm already at home, right? But the next, I link to the next card here. So I'm going to this card here. And it will give you either options here, or you can click on the actual card that you want to have happen next. Before you even start any of this, you need to go up to your details and make sure Flow Magic is clicked. If that is not clicked, you won't see this link over here. It will disappear. But let me just go into preview. So this is just it's like a memory. Concentration is another trademarked word. So it's a memory thing that students will drag their two numbers. Whoops, that's not matching. There. And then as you see, I can either go submit or I can click next. Whoops. Because I didn't match this. So I found a match, but the match was wrong because I was supposed to match the backpack, not the desk. So now I got to find the backpack. So the students have to find, in this particular one, the students have to find exactly what I've asked them to find. So that is the condition. You're right as long as you're matching that thing, that object. I used to do this one so long. And I'm advancing it here. If I want to go back, I can go back one. If I want to go home, it takes me to the beginning, right out. So that's basically your exit. So as you can see here, I've had to make a link to the next, a link, I don't know whether I've got that one on there one, link home, and this one goes back to previous, which would be the first one. And you've got to keep doing that every single time. So I created this initially in PowerPoint, which I'll go to. So here it is in PowerPoint, this part anyways. This is what I brought over. And then this was my page of playing with it. So you can see how and the cards, when I brought these individual cards over, they changed size. So I'm still playing with that. But that's one of them that I've done. And it just goes, like I said, you've got to make sure everything has got links to it over to the side here. Conditional link means they have to get it right to move on. Okay, let me show you another one. This deck is not finished, but I'm really liking how it's working. So I started it in PowerPoint, and I'm going to use these hats as navigation. Next, home, back. Got a start key here, and so this will be the actual navigation. This will be the first page. So I'm going to give students the option of whether they want to do 2-digit adding to 20, doubles to 20, or 3-digit adding to 20. And then over here on PowerPoint, I've created sections. And so here is the adding. So again, keep these consistent. So just adding, adding, adding. And then my next section is doubles. So good. And I'm giving visual with each of them. And then my next section is 3-digit adding. Now I export these all as JPEGs to Boom. So make sure it says every slide. Yeah, So I'm getting a folder called Treasure Edition, and I'll minimize this. And I'm going to click New Deck. And now I want to add these cards. Now, I have not even added these to Boom, so all I need to do is go upload. Actually, what I'll do is I'll open up to just the first. You can only upload 25 cards at a time. And I don't even know if they're in order, but that's okay because we now have the card manager. So I'll just... And there they are, and did my navigation. There it is in there. Okay, so I'm going to go up to Card Manager and get them in the right order. Most of them don't need to be in the exact order, but that one needs to be there, and this one needs to be there. I got to make sure that all the, let's get the 2-digit together. Actually, I don't even think I uploaded the 2-digit. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I uploaded some of the 2-digit. Okay, those are in better order. So here, all I'm going to do is put, first of all, I'm going to go up to Details and click Flow Magic. So what that also means is the cards will not be randomized. We put Treasure Edition, adding to 20. There we go. And some of these things I put in while it's all in my brain. Acknowledgements, clip art, fonts. I gotta remember who the other one is. And this is K12. Okay, just to get it started. There we go. Now, as you notice, I don't have my navigations up here yet. They're going to start on the next page, but I've got this Start button here. So I need to make a link here. So I'm going to use a button. And this background to match. It's not too far off. Okay, but before I leave this one, I'm going to link to the next page. So I could have clicked next, or what I like to do is click on the actual card. In case cards move, that one shouldn't, but just in case cards move, I got it going to the right card. Okay, and I'll go up and preview that just to make sure it works. Okay, Start, and it's gone to that one. Okay, so then each of these images will take them students to a different type of adding. So I'm going to just do a text box. I'm going to make it clear so they don't see that. Oh, yeah, good. And then I'm going to link to, and I'm going to start with the 2-digit adding. And then this one, gonna add I'm going to link to, and I'm going to look for my first set of doubles. And then I'm going to make the next one. So this is what I was referring to as a sort of an interactive table of contents. You can create different subjects for your students and then give them the option of which one they want to do first. And that's a 3-digit right there. Okay, that's those, but now I've got to get these set up as well. And again, once you've done a card, go up to preview and check to make sure everything has got links to it. So 2-digit adding, there it is. Now this one doesn't have a link. I'm going to go back. Actually, let's quickly put that in there. Now I could be putting in buttons here instead of having these images. This was just what I decided, but let's just see where we're at now. And that now I still have to put in the answer here. Okay, but I can go back. Got to do the previous on that one. But that's how Flow Magic works. Like I said, this one's a little bit more complicated because I've got 3 different sets. You could do this for 2 or 3 different concepts if you thought that you didn't need very many cards for each of them. I mean, right now I've only put 11 cards for each of these skills. I'm trying to keep it under, 35 cards because that's a lot for younger students. But a student could do a whole set, and then what I'm thinking of doing is even adding a card at the very end saying, do you want to break or do you want to keep going, sort of thing. Boom will keep track of what they've done and what they haven't done. But anyways, that's all I wanted to show you for Flow Magic. Again, let me know in the comments below if there was something else you wanted to see with Flow Magic. Right, okay, lots to think about today. I mean, there's so much to Boom. I really enjoy it, but I know I'm probably using maybe 30-40% of what's available on Boom. And that's one reason why I follow the big accounts, which I mentioned earlier, is I want to see what they're catching. They're figuring it out, right? What new little trick have they learned? Boom Learning has a YouTube channel, but they have not been on there. In fact, I almost want to email them and say, hey, I'll do a video for you. Right? I feel like I'm doing videos for them now. Anyways, okay. Next video is on repurposing content. I'm going to show you repurposing content 2 different ways. I'm going to show you repurposing with an image, and then I'm going to show you repurposing with a product created in PowerPoint, because that's kind of where I do most things. So I'm going to show you repurposing with that. And then, oh man, I've already forgotten what the next... Right, forgot Pinterest. I had a funny thing happen, and I'll talk about this more in the video. My account was suspended. My numbers all plummeted. They're on their way back up. It really didn't take long. But I'm going to show you video pins, idea pins, and yeah. So using Pinterest. Please don't give up on Pinterest. I know some of you just give up too quickly. This is a business. This is a long game. Don't give up on some things that can really... Pinterest is going to help you get around that little feature that says only followed authors. Right? So you be friends with Pinterest. All right. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe. If you are in areas where there's fires, please take care of yourself and your animals if you have them. And we'll see you in the next videos. See ya.